week. And we'll have to get that changed tomorrow. I thought by far and away, from a defensive standpoint, I thought it was our best all-around game defensively. We really challenged our guys with Watson and Palmer. We had to make Palmer's touches hard. We didn't in the first game. He scored. He's a really good player, really talented. And yet 22 points on 20 shots. You take a few silly fouls away that we committed in the first half, and I thought our job was outstanding. I thought we had them sped up. I thought we had them out of sync. And then we just did a tremendous job on Watson. And Trent was off the chart in the first half defensively. He had a couple fouls, but then Dre came in, and our pressure was really, really good. But disappointed. And the offensive rebounds we gave up, we talked about it. To Borchard's credit, we put on our board MVP in his role. And that's what he does. And give that young man a lot of credit. He gave them a lot of extra possessions. We've got to clean that up, obviously, before Tuesday. But overall, I thought offensively we were good. I thought we got out and opportunistic in transition. Our shooting percentage was evident of that. We established the paint early, and then made some timely shots and held on, made it too interesting with the missed free throws down the stretch. But all in all, found a way to win with our defense, and I thought it was outstanding.
Questions, Jeremy?
Brett, just when you think you figured out Kipper Nichols, he comes out and has this performance. When did you know the light was on? Was it practice? Was it something you did today?
Yeah, and I'm really happy for Kip, and I'm really took the approach to almost coaching like he was a member of our team. And I don't mean that as in any way that I really left him alone. And I thought maybe he had a few too many people in his ear, including me. And he's resilient. He's never stopped being a great teammate. He's never stopped being a great locker room guy. He's always got the smile. He's always cheering his teammates on. And the last 2 days of practice, the ball started going in for him. And we saw a different effort level. We saw a different tenacity on the glass. Not only was Kipper scoring tonight, he was really good on the other end. So couldn't be happier. And we needed it all.
Last Saturday, you get a great performance from Tevion. Today, you get a great performance from Kipper from that position. How important is that? I mean, does that make you much more competitive going forward with your guard play that you have and Georgie emerging inside, having that wing player who can do those things?
Well, that was just go back a game and go back to the Minnesota game, and it was a tough night for our wings there, and both of those guys included. But those guys are very, very capable of having big nights and being very productive. DeMonte does his role, and I mean he plays his role. His job early on Palmer was fantastic. That won't even be talked about by you guys. It's talked about in our locker room a lot because he made his touches really, really hard. And but when we get production offensively, yeah, that helps Iowa. It helps Trent. It opens the floor. We can play with a different speed and pace. And then we expected a double team on Georgie. Couldn't get it because of those guys making shots, and they jumped in zone, and we were able to really get the ball wherever we wanted. So that helps.
Tyler?
Coach, you got your third conference win today, and same point of the season last year. You had two. How would you assess this team after this last month of conference play?
Oh, it's not. I got to be careful because I don't want to say anything in a negative light about last year, but we're light years ahead in terms of our locker room, our competitive spirit and fire. I love the way these guys, when we went an hour and 15 minutes today, taped, dressed, ready to roll and shoot around. And I mean, these guys are eager. And, our mistakes are a lot of youthful, inexperienced mistakes. But I think we're growing. I think we see it every day when you see a Tevian, when you see it, you know, an Allen, you know, when you see a guy like Kipper who's been struggling to come back, and you know, and obviously Iowa and Georgia have proven that they can do it against the best in the country.
Brett?
Right, is this the Kipper you thought you were getting at the beginning of the year? And how does that change your dynamic of your team?
We'll see. It just adds to it. Yeah, I mean, you know, Kipper was a guy who was not real consistent last year, and we wanted that. We needed Kipper to be consistent. We knew that was at a position that we were going to be young. You know, not having Adonis early, we knew Georgie was going to have to play a lot of 5, and there was going to be some situations when Kipper was going to have to move around a little bit. But you know, I'm not looking too much in the past now. I'm looking ahead with him and what he can make our team. There's a lot of versatility there. Now we're starting to see Tevian back with his sea legs under him. He, you know, still making freshman mistake on a free throw block out and does some of those things. But yeah, Kipper definitely helps our dynamic.
I mean, in the last 5 games, he only attempted 2 shots, and there were times where it didn't look like he was even maybe, you know, looking to score. Just was there a different confidence about him? Did making that turnaround early help? Or?
Well, I think, you know, I think it stems from practice. I mean, you practice well, and you know, this game is very, very mental, and it can be anyway. And he just, all guys go through it at some point. You know, you see a shooting slump or whatever, but his last 2 days of practice have been very good. We've seen that change, but more importantly, it started with him being a great teammate and never questioning, never doubting. Happy for Tevian when he played well in the Garden, and you know, that speaks to his character. That's why I'm so happy for him.
Eric? Just coming into this game, did you feel like you might have had to put Kip at the 5? Tim mentioned that he thought you might have done that for pick and pop situations, or was that kind of just foul trouble with Georgie?
Well, Kip can play there and cause a lot of matchups and a lot of matchup problems. You know, we ran 2 or 3 sets. Kipper's a guy I like to scheme a lot with, and you know, based on their matchup, and you know, we ran a lot of stuff where 2-man game, we popped him, he got a clean look. We ran a couple actions to him, he got a clean look, and then we ran a post-up play to him. So he's a guy that gives us versatility, and it's all based on matchups, and he can be pretty effective in those.
Back here.
Adonis is the only guy who shot more than 50% from the line today. But other than that, what else did he bring today?
Well, he gives us physicality, and there's no doubt about that. I mean, you start having to slam bodies with 270 pounds every trip, and he's a low post presence. We're going to try to take advantage of him when he's there. We're going to make sure that he gets some touches, you know, and then defensively, you know, he takes up a lot of room, and we happen to play a little more zone, maybe when he was in the ball game today. But you know, he's a guy that creates and takes up a lot of space.
Coach, you had Kenny Bennell sitting courtside during the game. What does that mean to have those guys back?
I wish I had somebody who jumped as high as him, but yeah, I mean, that team was really special, and you know, I've always said it. The best part about Illinois is you know, we're the 11th ranked program in the history of college basketball. That means you have great players, and we want those guys to feel like that Champaign, State Farm Center, this building, this is their home, and they can go out there in front of their fans and be recognized and remembered, and it's what makes Illinois basketball elite. And our guys understand and know who Kenny is, and you know that they know the bobbleheads and the 8-9 and Final Fours, and those guys are very well aware of where he's been, and they want to get there.
You kind of answered it, but could he play for you?
Oh, we'd run. We'd run really, really fast and throw a lot of lobs with him, and we could use him on the glass as well.
By chance, did Kenny have a chance to talk to the players before the game or after the game?
He didn't before the game. I spoke with him after the game. You know, before the game, it gets pretty busy, pretty hectic, and we keep things pretty much on the same routine for them.
Isaac?
Brad, how important was it for you to see Alan Griffin dive on the floor for that loose ball and then also knock down that 3-2?
That's what Alan does, man. He does it every day in practice for 170 pounds, and he throws his body around, and he's an elite shooter, and I mean an elite shooter. And he's a guy that I watched him the other day at Minnesota, jump up and make 23 in a row, and but 21 of them didn't hit the rim. I mean, he's going to be a guy that when his time comes, he's going to be an elite shooter. And every time he shoots it, we want to get him shots. And he's another piece that we keep adding to this puzzle.
Coach, the offensive balance that you got today, does that tell you, a lot about this team meshing into their roles and finding a way to play together?
I think we're getting better in our roles. I don't want to say we're defined yet. That's been part of the challenge with Ted being out. It's been part of the challenge with Kipper's struggles is finding how all the pieces come together. I say I love the locker room, and we keep working, we keep doing that, and you throw Dre in that mix, you throw Adonis in that mix, and I'm starting to have some comfort going to the bench and feeling more comfortable when I substitute and knowing how we want to do that.
Coach, Io just had only 2 assists, but it looked like he maybe should have had a lot more with some of the passes he made today. How would you evaluate his passing ability?
It's elite. It's an elite level. I mean, it's the one thing that we feel great when he's got the ball in his hands. There's an advantage being 6'5" and being able to see over people. His feel, his IQ is now, and that's elite. Now his understanding is catching up and understanding our system and where those looks are going to be and the throwbacks, and we talk every day where team support or tag from and on our roles, and he makes those reads. And I mean, we missed some shots, and very easily could have had 5, 6, 7 assists, but it's the reads that everybody fears.
Coach, earlier in the season, Georgie had his mother come visit him, and today he has his brother for I think 10 days or so. What do you think it means for him just to have more family in the stands, not to just seeing him play?
He's so proud. His brother's never been here, and he's so proud to have his brother here and get to see him play. And Georgie's so in love with this place, and so excited. He couldn't wait to. Kept telling me, I can't wait to show off Illinois and our campus and get to see him play. His brother's first words to me yesterday was, "Coach, it's really nice to meet you." And I'm embarrassed for his free throw shooting. So he said, I'm going to get that handled. But no, it means a lot to me.
Rob, Aaron Jordan plus 15, by far the biggest point differential for any Illini.
Yeah, good day. And when I thought Aaron defensively was as good, he started at a disadvantage from a size standpoint, but it was his job on Roby. They tried running a lot of offense through Roby today, and Aaron did a good job early. They didn't put him in a lot of post-ups, which we feared. That was attributed to our perimeter defense as well, but I thought Aaron was great and fought and competed, and I was very, very pleased with his day.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks,